Greetings, greetings, bonjour, ujjayi. Welcome to my channel and welcome back if you are returning. My name is Tameka Gray and I am here today to share with you a yin yoga practice. This practice will be focused on the gallbladder and liver meridians related to the third chakra, Manipura, or also known as the solar plexus. It's the area just above the navel. And when we focus on this, we can help ourselves make better decisions. We come more so in contact with our self-worth. Yes. And we also create an opportunity, an environment for us to know our true self without any masks. So without further ado, let's get into this yin yoga practice today. I encourage you to have some water nearby. Take a sip now if you like, but definitely after yin yoga and any yoga practice, please drink water. What you will need today for this practice is yourself, comfortable clothing, patience, time, and maybe a block. Maybe a block or two, or maybe you grab a blanket. If you don't have a blanket or a block or two, maybe grab some small pots, some blankets that you use on your bed, or maybe grab some pillows. So go ahead and maybe get those props near you if you don't have them already, and then we'll get started. All right, let's go. Coming into our yin practice today, we are going to start with the toe squat. So we'll come onto the mat, knees to the mat. We're going to curl the toes under, okay? If that pinky toe doesn't want to come along for the ride, just take your finger and scoop that pinky toe forward. Make any minor adjustments that you need to. Sending the hips back, we settle into our toe squat. All right? So hold the toe squat as long as you can. Notice any sensations that might come up for you. If you're not able to hold it for the full time, no worries. Place your hands on the mat, unhook the toes, and maybe tap them a little bit on the mat. But stay here as long as you can. Wonderful. You can begin to come out of the toe squat. Place the hands on the mat. Unhook the toes. Gently tap them towards the earth. And then let's come into butterfly pose. Yes. If you have any knee issues, be mindful of how close you bring your foot in towards your groin. Maybe you'll also place blocks under either leg to help you with butterfly pose, to support you. There's nothing wrong with a little support, even in yin. But find your butterfly pose for today. And then when you're ready, we'll reach up towards the ceiling. And then when we exhale, we'll fold forward. Just go as far as you can. It may not be very far at all, and that is A-okay. Allow the chin to come in towards the chest. Make any micro adjustments that you need. Deep, slow breaths. Take slow breaths when you remember. Breathe into any area that is calling, any area that's presenting sensations to you. Breathe energy into that area. Maybe take 3 more slow breaths here. Wonderful. Gently release yourself from the butterfly pose, rolling up, heading into child's pose. Bring the knees back towards the mat. Come up onto all fours. Bring the knees to the width of the mat if you want to create some space, right? If you want to allow your belly to rest on your knees, bring the knees in close together. Big toes are touching in the back. And then walk the hands forward, melting towards the mat, leading with your heart and your chin, and then finally resting your head on the mat. There's an option to bring a block here to support you. You can place the block right under your forehead. Find what you need. Find your edge. If you have the knees close together, maybe you take the arms by your side so that your hands are by your feet. Wonderful. And now we'll slowly come out of our child's pose, gently pushing yourself up, heading into swan. Heading into swan, we'll come onto all fours again, release the big toes from touching each other, bring the knees in as if we're coming into tabletop. And then bring your right knee towards your right wrist, bring your right ankle towards your left wrist. It may not actually connect with your left wrist, but just take it over there as much as you can. Maybe it stays here, and that's perfectly fine. All right, but do what you can. Do your best. And then slide your left leg back. Sort of inch your left leg back. Find your edge in this swan pose. So you can stay here sitting up, or you could come down to your forearms, right? Or you could come all the way down to the forehead on the mat. Make sure that the left toes, left foot, left leg is heading straight back, all right? As much as possible. The hips might tilt to the right to take some of the pressure off. Maybe you bring them back towards the left. Try to square them with the mat, if you like. But we'll be here for a few minutes. One more minute here. Awesome. Awesome. Maybe take 3 more slow breaths here. Awesome. And gently push yourself back up. As we come into child's pose, curl the left toes under, lift the left knee off of the mat, swing the right leg around to the right side, Come back into a tabletop position, bending the left knee back down to the mat. Option to bring the knees close together this time, or you can separate them if you like. Sitting the hips back, walking the hands forward, bringing the forehead towards the earth. Again, maybe you take the arms behind you, beside you, as the hands rest with the feet. Make any micro adjustments and settle in. Beautiful. We'll gently come out of our child's pose, lifting up the head, lifting up the torso. As we head to the other side for swan pose, come back into our tabletop position. Reach the left knee towards the left ankle. Reach the left ankle towards the right wrist, right? Reach the left knee towards the left wrist, okay? Reach the left ankle towards the right wrist. Inch your right leg back, find your edge. This side may feel different from the other side. Make sure your leg is heading straight back as much as possible. As we settle into our swan pose, make any adjustments that you need. Find your stillness, find your edge. Maybe come onto the forearms, or maybe connect the forehead with the earth. Slow breaths when you remember. Awesome. If you like, take 3 more slow breaths here. Beautiful. And gently push yourself up, pushing yourself up from the swan pose. Curl the right toes under. Lift the right knee up off of the mat. Swing the left leg back. Find child's pose with either the knees together or the knees apart. Sending the hips back towards the heels, coming fully into our child's pose. Maybe you take the arms by your sides, that the hands are by the feet, and bringing the forehead towards the mat. Settle in. Let the shoulders drape over the body. Don't hold any tension in the shoulders. Awesome. And if you like, maybe take 1 more slow breath here. And gently rise up, pulling yourself up from our child's pose. Swing the legs around to the left side, hands to the back as your support or kickstand. Bring the feet to the mat. Scoot the tailbone forward. Maybe separate the feet to about the width of the mat, and then allow the knees to fall to the right, and then allow them to fall to the left. And again, from the right to the left. Beautiful. Let's keep going with our yin practice today. Come into our downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Shavasana, as we further dig deeper into our true self. Curl the toes under, lift the knees and the hips up and back. Find your downward facing dog. Tucking the navel in. Neck is loose. Maybe the knees are bent. Maybe the legs are straight. Slow breaths. Wonderful. So right now we're going to simply step the right foot forward and find dragon pose on the right. So reach the right foot forward to the top of the mat, hands to the mat. If you'd like, you can bring your left knee to the mat, uncurl the left toes. If you like, you can keep that lifted, but find your edge, right? Find that place where you can exist without too much pain, without too much comfort. Maybe you come onto the forearms. Maybe you grab a block and place it under your forearms. Grab what you need. Find our way into our dragon pose. So the right foot is all the way to the right edge of the mat. Option to have a blanket under the left knee. Maybe take 3 more slow breaths here. Awesome. And gently send the hips back. Bring your right foot to meet with your left. So bend the right leg, send the right foot back. Awesome. I'm going to grab a block. The last time I did dragon pose on this side, my edge was different. I found that my edge had changed today. So I'm definitely going to use this block as we head into our dragon pose on the right side. I encourage you to grab a hold of anything that you wish you had the first time as well. But before we get there, Ardha Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. So reach the hands forward, place them firmly into the mat. Align yourselves with your knees. Curl the toes under, pushing weight into the hand. All fingers, the fleshy part where the thumb connects. Lift the knees and the hips back and up. Find your downward facing dog. Set this timer. Wonderful. Moving into swan. I'm sorry, moving into dragon on the left. Lift the left foot, bring it forward to the left edge of the mat. Lower the right knee to the mat, uncurl the right toes. If you want to keep the right toes curled, be my guest, but know where your edge is. And then you can come down onto the forearms, or maybe just keep the hands to the mat. Find your edge. That's different for everyone, every day. Beautiful. Maybe take 3 more slow breaths here. Awesome. And then gently coming out of dragon pose, send the hips back. Ooh. Bring the right foot to meet with the left, knees together, sitting the hips back for a moment into hero's pose, staring straight ahead. Take a slow breath here. Awesome. It's time to bring our backs to the mat as we head into banana asana. Banana asana is like a crescent moon in a supine position, okay? So think a crescent moon. Bringing our backs to the mat. We lift the hands above the head and connect, interlace the fingers. Maybe keep the pointer fingers extended. Open up your legs, so that the left foot is just on the outside edge of the mat, or maybe it sits right on the edge of the mat, and same thing for the right side. Take your right foot and hook it over your left. Now take your torso and lean it over towards the left. And this is your banana asana. Find your edge, settle in. Allow your right shoulder blade to head towards the mat. Slow breaths when you remember. Excellent. Staying here, take 3 more slow breaths. Wonderful. Bring your torso back to center. So lift the head, bring it back to center. Unhook the right foot from the left. Bring that back to the right side. Bend both of your knees, feet flat on the mat. Allow the knees to tilt in towards each other. Take a slow breath here. Awesome. And then straighten both of the legs back to the mat. Right foot to the right edge or outside the right edge of the mat. Same thing on the left. Bring the arms above your head. Interlace the fingers, extending the pointer finger. Cross the left foot over the right foot. Lift your head, tilt your torso over towards the right. Maybe you can see your right feet. Find your edge, settle in, connect with your breath. Beautiful. Option to take 3 slow breaths here. Awesome. After that last slow breath, gently lift your head, bring it back to center, bring the arms by your side. Unhook the left foot from the right. Bring both of the feet to the mat, and then allow the knees to touch for a moment. Take a slow breath here. Then bring both of the knees in towards your chest. Hug them in nice and tight. Then lift your chest towards your knees. Lift your chin towards your knees. Lift your nose towards your knees. Hold here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently release your head back down to the mat. Gently release your legs, setting up for Shavasana. Option to place a blanket under your hips. Allow the legs to be straight, arms by your side. Maybe tuck the shoulder blades under, allow the heart to be lifted, and fully release yourself to the earth. Allow your body to fully relax. Become more aware of your breath. Stay here as long as you like. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for coming to your mat. Remember to shine your light. Namaste.